Hello, everyone. Tom Davis, Red 4 Reviews. And as I discussed the last week, I believe it was, a special announcement, big announcement for myself personally and this channel. And that announcement was made on the live stream with Tactical Response on the 25th of October. And so what I'm getting ready to do now is kind of go through this. I'll say it again. If you can see it live, if you want to, or the recording of the live, and it's about 12 minutes in. Again, that's the Tactical Response YouTube channel, and it's their live stream from the 25th of October. So I'm just going to kind of do it again for my channel here, and any of you that may have missed it and or want to see it here instead. So, all right. So with this, the bottom line up front is I have officially announced my candidacy for Tennessee's 4th Congressional District in the U.S. House of Representatives. Now, if you want, you stick around and hear a little bit about the why of the platform. As I started off, there's a couple of quotes that went into this. So just here they are. Those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must, like men, undergo the fatigues of supporting it. That's Thomas Paine, 1777. The next quote, it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs come short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions? Who spends himself in a worthy cause? Who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement? And who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold, timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Theodore Roosevelt, 1910. So a little bit about my background. I joined the Army at 17 at the beginning of my senior year of high school. After I graduated, I attended basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, where I was awarded the MOS of 88 Mike, a motor transport operator. From there, I went to Fort Benning, Georgia, where I earned my jump wings. After that, I went to Fort Bragg, North Carolina for my first duty assignment. Duty assignments included Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Camp Humphreys, Korea, Saginaw, Michigan, Fort Hood, Texas, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, Fort Irwin, California, Fort Carson, Colorado. Duty positions included tool room clerk, motor transport operator, training NCO, squad leader, U.S. Army field recruiter, PLDC instructor, U.S. Army drill sergeant, observer controller, platoon sergeant, truck master, operations NCO, ISB NCOIC, and rear detachment NCOIC. Deployments included Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Korea, Operation Joint Forge, Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom. I also participated in hurricane relief efforts for Hurricane Fran while I was stationed at Fort Bragg. At the end of all this, I spent almost 25 years in the Army, retiring in 2014 as a Sergeant First Class. And that was all active duty straight through. After leaving the Army, I attended the Police Academy in Northern Arizona, where I was elected the class president. I worked as a cop for a short period of time before moving to Tennessee in 2017. Since moving to Warren County, I've worked as a property manager and have started my own business. Also, since 2017, I have served as the quartermaster for VFW Post 5064 in McMinnville. I did have a little short break in there, a couple different ones, but I've pretty much continuously since then, since 2017. The road to running for this congressional seat. So I've been ramping up my own efforts to change, in my efforts to effect a change back to the original intent of the Constitution and the principles at the founding of this great nation. I vote, I call my elected representatives, and I participate in local functions. With the election of Joe Biden, who is arguably the weakest president in our history, and the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan that has facilitated our enemies lighting the world on fire. I have become increasingly irritated with the state of this country and those who have been running us into the ditch. What I will say here is that we, the people, have allowed this to happen, which means it is up to us, we, the people, to accept responsibility and fix it. We continue to send the same self-serving, selfish people to D.C. to represent us and be good stewards of our trust in them. How has that turned out for us? $33 trillion in debt and rising. A Speaker of the House saying that we need to short a page. The Speaker of the House saying that we need to raise the debt ceiling, and then we'll cut spending, and elected officials appointed or elected and appointed officials dying in office. How selfish do you have to be to stick around so long as to expire while holding office? How negligent are we for continuing to send these people to D.C.? I have reached the point where what I've been doing is not giving me the results I've been looking for. I've been saying for years, if what you're doing isn't working, do something different. Last bit, and then I'm going to talk about my top priorities, how I see them, and the way ahead. Take a hard look at anyone who's been holding office for 10 years. Have they been infected by the swamp? Anyone who has been holding an office for 12 years should go. Do something different. And that's either voluntarily or voted out. Top priorities as I see them. Budget, bullets, that's the Second Amendment, and borders. I generally refrain from talking in absolutes, but I will never vote for measures that increase the debt ceiling or cause us to deficit spend. We should be calling our reps every week, asking them why they are spending our tax dollars like they're a bunch of drunken paratroopers at the strip club. I'll introduce legislation to simplify taxes. 9% on earned income, W-2s, 1099, 3% on invested income for individuals, 15% of the net income for businesses, 5% sales tax. No exemptions, no exceptions, no shenanigans. There's absolutely no need to continue with the overcomplication of the tax system, and more importantly, the overtaxation of us, the citizens. The Second Amendment is probably the clearest of anything in the Constitution. I don't know what's so hard to understand about shall not be infringed. And the border. Our southern border needs to be closed immediately, if not sooner. As the head of the executive branch, the president needs to execute the laws passed by the legislative branch or be considered treasonous or incompetent and dealt with accordingly. So that's kind of the gist of it. Like I said, that's where I stand on this stuff. It's time to reclaim or restore the republic. So I have decided to do this. Now, as I do this, what I'm looking at is I'm going to still do this channel, but as I run a campaign, and as I do this, I mean, there's stuff out there, but just for me personally, to do this and to track it, I'm going to have an additional YouTube channel, and I'll do updates, videos pretty much the same way. It'll be a review of the week. Actually, that one may be every 2 weeks. Still processing that. But same as this. I'll go through the process and tell you what I've learned about the process and how you do this. It's set up. It should not be very difficult to do. It shouldn't be. And on the surface, from what I've done so far, you start looking into it here in Tennessee, the requirement to get on the ballot is my own signature plus 25 registered voters that are in my congressional district. So like I said, 25 plus mine. My own signature doesn't count as those 25. And then you select to run as, you can run as an independent, which then you skip the primaries and just go straight on the November ballot. Or if you select a party, You check that party, submit it, and then get your signatures. You're on the ballot. So for the primaries, now the downside, if you do the primaries, if you do not beat whoever's in there, if there's an incumbent, then you're done. That's the end of that run for that congressional seat. And like I said, this will be specific. This is going to be specific to the U.S. House of Representatives. As you start doing this, there's different things and different requirements at each level that you do this at. Reporting requirements, as far as campaign fundraising. So that's, like I said, that's the process. I'm doing it as I go because it's time to get after it. We need some people in Washington who'll stand up and say no. We will absolutely lose the republic if we keep spending like we are. I mean, that's the top ticket issue is the budget for our government. How long do you think you can personally last as an individual spending more than you make month to month? It's just it doesn't work, and it will not work for us as a nation going ahead. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at in a mid week, if you will, and putting up of this video. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. And then the other channel, it's Reclaim the Republic 1775, and I'll put that handle down. I'll pin it in this or put it in the comment section of this video as I put it up. But if you want to bounce on over there, or if you're just more interested in the gun review stuff or gun school review stuff and some of the content that I'm putting out here, then just stay on here. Spread the word about my channel here. Help me out as for the channel and us as citizens. Because if our republic falls, where do we go? What happens then? So something to think about, and like I said, where I'm at moving ahead. So I appreciate your time here. I hope this is helpful. I hope other stuff is helpful and get you thinking and get you involved in things, because that's what it takes. And we talk about well-regulated, and I've talked about well-regulated. If you know, that part of the Second Amendment is trained and proficient. But that little bit can be expanded upon and looked into much more levels. Well-regulated is us as citizens being involved and participating. And I'm not, you figure out where you can get in. You donate directly to candidates would be my suggestion versus straight into any party. But it's your funds. You decide how you want to do it. My recommendation, individual candidates. Look at the candidates, especially at local levels, and what type of values do they have? Go out, do town halls with them, ask questions, and get to know them. Do they deserve your vote? Do they deserve the trust to hold those positions and represent us? And then I don't like to use the term govern, but to govern, if that's the word you want to use. But they represent us and our interests. And that the biggest interest is to keep government out of our individual business. We're at a point now that it's out of control. And if we don't do something about it, it has the potential to turn out very poorly. Just take a look around the world at countries where the government completely runs the lives of its citizens, and you'll be hard pressed to tell me that they're better off than what we are and what we have been in this country. So my channel, my rant, but yeah, I appreciate you joining. If you made it this far, if you would, go ahead and whack that like button for me, subscribe, share it around the interwebs here, make me some comments, and let's get after it. The time is now. So again, appreciate it. I hope this was helpful. Tom Davis, Red 4 Reviews. It is your duty to be well regulated. Stay dangerous.